Scorpio, how you doing, guys? So we're here to look at your karmic contracts and a deeper look into your soul and a deeper look into relationships factors. The reason why I'm calling them karmic contracts, because we go over the lessons and things like that. We also generalize it as a general reading, but we also look into your contracts and stuff that I can channel and pick up through that. So these can be very personal for a lot of people. So please keep an open mind, because they can involve kids if you have children. They can involve your relationships with family, dynamics, all that kind of stuff. And we go over it as much as what we possibly can within this timeline, okay? So the first thing that I heard was something to do with like burning. Something's burning, okay? Now I don't panic, because I don't mean like something's physically burning. But the first thing that I heard and that I'm going cold for is like it seems to be burning. Something seems to be burning. Now, I don't know if that's a physical element, but because it's burning, I'm picking up the energy of the sun, okay? Which is to do with family. And now also like a son. Like there seems to be like a dynamic of parent and child. And something seems to be burning. It's kind of like, well, it's just like... because it's growing, it seems to be like something seems to be growing, and I don't know why they keep saying burning. A lot of people say, no, please say what it is that you're channeling, so I'm just going to throw it out there, okay? And if that relates to you, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But they're saying something about burning, and because they said burning, okay, I'm relating it to the sun and also Leo, okay? But it's also to do with like a full situation that you are in with, say, soulmate, twin flame, relationship, family, okay? And it's a lot to do with like someone has this burning desire to worry, okay? And because they're worrying and they're worrying and they're worrying and worrying, because they could just keep saying worry, 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 and it's like, I don't want to worry. There's nothing that's burning, right? Because it feels like someone's in a panic and they have to move really quickly. It could be that someone's moving, okay? And it's like, oh, quick panic stations, and it might not be a bad situation, Scorpio, because it feels like hold on, panic stations, I've just got something and I've got to do it right now. So you might be like heading outside the door yourself, or it could be someone within your soul group, okay? But like a burning desire, because there's going to be a rush. It says like, well, it's just everything is such a rush because something's just happened and we are now, I don't know why they're saying, because something is to like, I don't know, because they're saying something's going to happen, right? Or it feels like something's happening. But I don't think that it's like a real bad situation. I just think that there's something that's going to come up for you, okay? And it's requiring like either an element or a movement. And because of that, it's like panic stations. Everything now is just suddenly happened, and we've got to make loads of decisions now because we're moving. Something like that, okay? Now, also within your dynamic, within family, I think that there is someone around you that likes to worry a lot, okay? And they worry and they worry and they worry and they worry and they worry. And because they do, that's a burning sensation of something that's helping you grow, which is why I'm thinking it's to do with either a mother or a father, because it was grown and it's something like it was homegrown. It was homegrown. It was homegrown. It was homegrown. Someone could be taking the herb, but or looking into herbs, but it was home and it grown from home. It was home from home, and it also grown from home, or like a groaning. Someone at home could be like groaning or moaning, right? Groaning or moaning. And it feels like because of this moaning, that there's someone that's moaning around you a lot. You're like, oh, I haven't got time to listen to this moaning. But if that's a physical ailment, that's because someone's ill and they're moaning because they're ill, right? I don't mean like moaning at you and it's like, oh, but I feel like there's some kind of like pain or something to do with something burning. And like someone's like, I have got no idea where these are coming, because they literally just come in, Scorpio. I think it's to do with like a lot of you, of a dynamic that you've got going on with family, but there's also something that's going to come up that's going to require your attention of like not panic stations, but in a station. Something to do with stations. Okay, now I've got no idea why, because I'm coming up with like a virus, because I have channeled that through 2 different readings, and I think the last one, which was Libra, had something to do with, because I said Corolla, okay, and I thought a car. So it could have something to do with a car, okay, or Corolla, or something burning. They're also saying like possibility of, here we go, sorry Scorpio, if someone was worried about having cancer, okay, that could have been for some of you, but you would really know that, right? But like a burning, like there would be, because they're saying therapy, a radiotherapy or something like that, a radiotherapist. But I'm also picking up stations where there are, and there literally are in the UK, okay, as well. Stations, like pods, stations, and it feels like stations, and someone, wow, I'm going cold. So I don't know if that is physically to do with like a disease centre or clinic or something like that, but they're saying something about panic stations. There are certain things that are happening, and it could either be that someone is talking about it a lot, okay, or it is physically happening. I really can't tell where these are coming from, because when I said it's physically happening, I went warm. So that normally means no. If I go cold, that's like a proper message. But something about hot and cold, like someone around you could be ill. Okay, they might not have, hopefully not, that virus, but something to do with like a burning, like burning or burning, and it's burning. They just keep saying it's burning, it's burning, and it's burning, and it's burning. Okay, wow. Be very careful, okay, because I can see this house of something burning. Why on earth am I doing that? Why am I doing that? Why am I doing that? Oh, I'm going to have to come out with these messages because they're there. Why is that happening? Because something's burning. Or Bernie, or the name Bernie. Or if it is to do with like radiotherapy or something, I think somebody out there could be going through a radiotherapy type sort of thing, or like a therapist, or seeking out a therapist. Okay, or you might even be a therapist. But they're definitely, like, I'm seeing this like sofa or something, or the name Sophie or something. I'm sorry about these messages because they're very very dynamic, right? So I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, Scorpio, so they're just very quickly just coming. So as you can tell, I am on the camera. Yes, I'm getting old and all that kind of stuff. I thought we'd change things up. Okay, that's the reason why. Bob Paystubs, I can't remember what star sign you are, Bob, if you're watching this one, but he said, why don't you show your face and your body language and your expressions? And I'm also trying to get the table in and all that kind of stuff. So that's the reason why. So let's see. So Scorpio, someone. So Leo, you see, leaving the house, in the house, leaving the house, in the house, leaving the house. That's what I said. Leo, burning, something about burning sensation. Okay, is like leaving, is making a plan of. I don't think it's. See, this is a plan of escape. This is a great escape from prison as well. They're also saying like a prison sentence of the great escape. I need to escape. I need to escape. I need to escape. Like, because I'm picking up like the landscaping, also landscaping, which is to do with like finding land or finding a place to live, and that's why I'm leaving, because I'm landscaping. So your partner or you could have something to do with like landscaping, which is like doing something to do with gardening and all that kind of stuff. Okay, but I'm also hearing landscaping, as in like I'm looking for a piece of land in order to either rent, own, or buy. Okay, either way. But whatever it is, it's like I have got an escape plan, so I've got a backup. Okay, so well, have you got my back if I go? It's like, well, we're not splitting up, but it's like if I leave, then do you trust me to be on my own? Because there's something to do with like a trust, like a bank trust, and be careful like with the bank and overspending. It would be more towards like a Leo energy, okay? But it feels like that at home there is so much going on at home, because 7 is going to represent everybody at home, and it feels like panic stations, panic stations, panic stations, panic stations, and it's like, well, I'm loyal towards you, so do you trust me? It's like, well, I trust you, sure. So because it's a sure bet that I'm heading towards a Leo, okay, because it's heading this way. So we're bumping heads, and that's the reason why someone might be considering landscaping, of looking for a different place to live, okay? It never always means a breakup, and it doesn't always mean that I don't trust you. It just means that this person is run ragged and frantic and busy because something's on that they've got going on, and they're leaving, okay? That's chasing and running. If you don't trust your person, then I don't know why you're with your person, okay? So you would be going for a complete dynamic. Okay, but there is a lot to do with like butting heads, and it's like, well, I'm going to have to go this way, but I'm going to have to find the courage in order to stand on my own 2 feet and stand up for myself as well. So there's a lot of things that I have to going on, but it's definitely coming from a Leo energy because it's the first card that you've got. Okay, so in order for us to stop clashing like the Titans, I am now, something's happening where it's now, the tension is now building up. There seems to be a lot of tension, okay? But a pension, also they're saying a pension, something to do with seeking a pension. So that's like an old age pension type sort of thing. Well, I'm going to have to look into my pension or dig into my pension, which means that someone could have savings and they're having to dig into a plot, like, because I'm picking up plot of land, but also plot of money. So I'm having to put into my plot of money in order to take it out, also from a Leo. So something to do with like, well, I'm going to have to ask to borrow some money, or I'm going to have to take some money from you, or I'm going to have to take some strength from you and ask for your support for me to be able to do that, okay? Because I'm picking up, I don't know if I picked, because I heard Porsche or Porsche, or Porsche or Poor, sorry, Scorpio, but or Poor Me, I don't know, but or Pour Me another one, Pour Me, because I'm picking up this Leo here of paw, like a paw. It's like paw, give me a paw, like an actual animal, right? But it's like paw, unless it's the name Paul, or Paul, port, a porter, something to do with a porter. But anyway, come off those messages because they'll come through soon. Physical plot of land and physical movement and having to leave and having to find the strength for someone to physically go. Because it's like, well, I'm here, but I am going. Okay? I'm here, but I am going. So it's like, are you coming? Are you going? Are you coming? Are you going? And that's where there could be a lot of frantic behaviour that you might see, because this person could either one, just pack up their stuff and leave, but I don't think they just leave unannounced. It's like, I'm going to have to make an announcement that I am thinking about physically like going this way. Okay. So if I didn't mention, this is for the first half of March. So a lot of this is that someone's trying to find courage and strength within themselves to have trust within their bank and within their money, and to find a place. Okay. So see the sun. So there's expansion and there's growth. There's a lot still to do with your contract of family, of dynamics that you can't avoid at the moment, definitely within your soul group sort of contract, because someone is looking back at their money and their savings. Okay, so it's still a lot to do with, well, I'm going to have to dig into my bank. Taurus kind of energy, Scorpio rising, Taurus descending, Taurus rising, Scorpio descending. Okay, so so you could have a Scorpio rising, right? Or the other way around. But there's a lot to do with like, well, I'm going to have to dig into my bank account, but I'm also going to have to like protect my assets and make sure that nothing's like, I'm not overspending because I have some time off. This could be like you're relieved from work and you've given some time off, and I'm having to save for a rainy day. Right? So rainy days and Mondays. So I'm going to have to save for Monday, or the name day, okay? But I'm going to have to save for run day, run rabbit, run, something to do with like running. It's like, well, I'm running my own business and I'm actually doing well, so I can now save some money, so I don't live above my means. I kind of like just stable. I'm very stable. I have quite a lot. But there is someone also that's having to face courage, because it's like, well, if you're not going to open up to me and you're not going to say something, the reason why I'm leaving is because you are protecting something. It's like you're going through a lot of stages of physical opening up to someone, okay? So the Seven is looking back at their money, and they're looking back at their finances, and they're looking up how to be more lenient, okay? More lenient, meaning, well, I can be more lean, physical appearance lean, or mean. It's like, well, I can either be lean or I can be mean, so it's like up to you. It's like whether you want to trust me or not, but I can either be lean or I can be mean. But it also means like lenient. Well, I can be very lenient if you want, because I have some money here, so you're leaving something stable to go towards something that's more caring. Some of you could be in the caring or Karen, the name Karen, or caring. Sorry, you can't see the table. Caring. That's the difficult of this camera being here, because I can't physically show people the cards anymore. But the sun, you see, the family's here. I don't think that you're without your partner. I think that you're with your partner and you're living in a family estate or a family home, and there's a lot going on at home. And there's so much happening in this sun that there's like, well, because I keep picking up someone's sun, like their actual sun, okay? Not like the sun or a Leo, but their sun. So it could be to do with that there is a male sun that is a Leo, okay, or something like that. But the sale, they're also saying, well, the sale, there is a sale and it's now here because this is good news. So whatever it is, you're going to get some very good news, okay? But this is also, like I said, radioactive, and it burns as well, right? So it burns through your account, so be very careful on how much that you're spending and all that kind of stuff, okay? Again, because this is someone that could be ill, that's what I'm saying, physically ill, okay? And it could be a lot to do with, like, because I'm ill, I'm going to get good news because I was ill, but because of this radiotherapy, okay, it's now bringing me back to life. Because there's something to do with, like, life support, okay? Life support machine. They're also saying a life support machine, okay? A life support machine, life support. It's either like you're a great support for me if it's coming through as... Some of you, it's really not going to be everybody on life support, okay? But also... that someone could have been going through that in a family and they're on life support, okay? But also, like, they're alive. I just heard, well, they're alive. No, Steve, they're alive. Okay, no, Steve, they're a liar. Oh, so I heard that one. No, Steve, they're a liar. No. I'm thinking that... Oh, there was a message I was trying to kick on. That whatever you're going to get, it's good news. There is someone that's saying, okay, I need you to open up to me because I am thinking about, because I've got this good news. So whatever it is, it doesn't have to be, it can be your whole dynamic, that you're going to get some good news, okay? And it's going to be that someone physically is, I mean, they're physically leaving here. That's either a bad situation for a lot of you because someone won't open up emotionally and they're not very supportive, or they're extremely supportive, but it's very difficult to get through to someone to the highest degree of what the other person would want. Okay, so it's like, well, you know, if you're not going to open up here, I'm going towards a Leo, but I can get cross-match of families that have all these in their chart, and it's difficult for me to relate it to one person because I've seen a lot of things. So it's either situations of that someone is either leaving because someone won't open up and they refuse to, okay? If there's not, because it's something to do with, like, the bank refused me. Like, I asked for a loan, but the bank refused me, so I'm going towards a Leo, okay? And the bank refused me. For some of you, if you've been looking for, like, a bank loan or trying to get some kind of, like, financial aid for something, because there's a lot of first aid, or the name AD, but first aid, okay? So there could be that job, and that could be a channel message that I was picking up because that's something that you do within the field where it's first aid, okay? Because I'm also hearing I'm the first on the scene as well. I was the first on the scene. This is a lot of you witnessed something, okay, in your past, and you were the first person on the scene in order to that something happened, whatever that was, Scorpio, okay? And I'm hearing that, well, I was the first one on the scene. So there might have been an interest of someone else where somebody said, like, I was the first. It's either like something that drastically happened with someone's illness, and it's like, yeah, I witnessed that and I was the first one on the scene. Because this is a crime as well, like a crime, okay? Also, I've got to rush these ones out. Also, I was the first one on the scene, as in... two aspects. One, relationship factor, as if that there is someone here. If you don't trust someone and they're not opening up, it's like, well, someone's saying, look, I was the first one on the scene, and someone's fighting. But it could be in the family where someone has this jealous streak, maybe, okay, whoever knows what, where, but I was the first one on the scene. It's like, well, I can't be pulled in two directions, because the 7 is like, well, I'm going in two directions. And then someone's saying, well, look, I was the first one on the scene. So if that's another interest of another party, okay, that you have, you might be getting these messages from someone to say, look, they were the first one on the scene, I choose them, okay? But it can be like family. It's like, well, do you choose your family or do you choose me? Do you choose me as a love partner or do you choose your family? Because there's a lot of like, still a lot of growth that's going on within a family, as if to say, well, do you choose your family over me or do you choose me over your family? Who do you choose? Who do you want? Who do you love? Okay. But also, I was picking up for a lot of you, like I was the first one, like on the scene, and that reflected through that someone is thinking about physically moving. And because they are, it's like, yeah, that's the first one that we see, that's the first one that we're having. So this person is either leaving you but not physically relationship wise. If they are, you would know. If they're not, it's because they're moving, okay? And it's the first one on the scene. So within their family as well, there's a lot to do with Leo energy. And within their family of your contract of what's going on, you might witness that a lot of people are like selling up family homes or businesses because things are changing, the times are changing, and it's all like burning through assets, and it's going to have a lot to do with money and the next quarter of things that are yet to become throughout this whole cycle of, well, throughout the whole year, okay, because it's setting someone up not for failure but for success. So whatever it is that you've got, it's going to be successful because it's kind of like, there seems to be a lot of people that are selling things, okay, like family estates and homes and stuff like that. Because both of these are Leo, you see, both of these to me are Leo, there's going to be a lot happening in this Leo's life within their family as well as yours. So there's a lot of decisions to be made by this person that is not escaping, but they're like leaving, right? Now, I also heard leaving on a jet plane. So it could be abroad, it could be anywhere, but it literally could be across the street. But there's something to do with like, well, it's the first one that we took, it's the first one, so we're going to take the first taker. So it's like first come, first serve. If you put in a good offer, you've been accepted, because this is whatever it is, you've been accepted for it, okay? So there's a lot of self-acceptance of energy, of lessons that's going around, of accepting one's own behaviour of certain things, okay? It's like, well, I'm going to need you to trust me, okay? So we're going to have to like reflect and mirror on our behaviour of like escaping something, because you've also got 7 and 1, which is also 8, which is the 8 of Swords, which is a lot to do with, in my other deck, 2 people that are breathing down one another's neck because they're both in the 8 of Swords. And it means space. The 8 of Swords means that I need some space and I need some time on my own in order to be able to think about it clearly first, so I'm not going around and round in my head. If you physically live with someone through the 8 of Swords, that's because you like feel like you're enclosed into a situation that's been creating this 8. But because they're not together, okay, that's why. Because this 7 and 8 makes an 8, but because it's not an 8 and they're not together, they go their separate ways, okay? So, basically what it's telling me, I don't know, it's if I'm teaching people how to read tarot cards. This is how I do it, okay? That they go their separate ways because of the 8, okay? So, because we were living on top of one another and there was not enough room to breathe, we're going that way. But a lot to do with that is family, of looking back at what's gone on through this cycle, to do with that there's someone else here, that they live with their family or they live in a different place, okay? So it feels to me that the other person, so it's not really relating to you unless you've got Leo in your chart. So it's that I'm going to have some courage, but I'm going to take the first offer, meaning because of this 8 and the space that we've had, we just need some physical distance and space, because this would definitely mean space and distance. Now, if a lot of you are not interested in this person at all, you can meet a new person, because this would be a fresh, brand new idea, brand new person, brand new born child. Anything can be through that. It would still relate to Scorpio to me because it's newborn, okay? So the newborn identity, I seem to have a newborn identity, Steve, but someone in your energy feels like they're having a little bit of an identity crisis, okay? Because it feels like crisis. Okay. Okay, it feels like crisis, like I'm having some sort of crisis at the moment. I'm pulled in so many different directions, but so I think it's probably best if I take the first opportunity and offer that seems to be knocking here through the sun, okay? So I'm going to take that first offer. If this is really bothering you because you can't properly see the cards, just let me know in the comment section, guys. I really would appreciate it, Scorpio. Okay, what you prefer. If you prefer just to see the cards, if you prefer to see my ugly mug, whatever, right? But there's a lot to do with one more card. It's like, if you play your cards right, then you can have a big, like a better place to stay. It feels like, well, I can have a better place to stay. A lot of this is like that someone could be asking family. It's like, well, you can come and I've picked that up through someone before. You can come and stay with me while you get better, or while you're having some kind of like, while you're having some kind of like probable difficulty in a relationship. It might mean, well, look, you can come and stay with me for a little bit with the family. Okay, so I'm going to go and stay with the family for a bit because they're moving. 10 moves. Trust me, it moves because it ends. So there's like, well, there's no end to this, so I'm going to go and stay with the family. A lot of you, if you're really arguing with someone, okay, and you really don't trust them, there's a lot of like, well, I'll go and stay with the family then, you know, and you'll get into an argument because of the 8 of not enough space, okay. But if that isn't an argument, it is generally because this person has this plan of making things better by not making it worse, meaning that something's going on in your relationship where it's kind of like, oh, okay, I just heard for better or for worse. Now, for some of you, that is, well, in order to make it better, we need some space. So I'm going to go and take the first offer that comes up in my life. I'm going to take that, okay? Now, for some of you, I heard for better or for worse, and this could be for someone that you physically lost, that could be in the family, that could have had any kind of like radiotherapy or anything. I really stand on light toes with that one, okay? But if you did physically lose someone, I heard, well, for better or for worse, okay? For better or for worse.
That was marriage.
Oh, it is marriage. Sorry, my girlfriend just reminded me that is the marriage. Marriage, for better or for worse. Okay, but what's that then that they'd say? For better or for worse. Why am I picking that one up? Well, for better or for worse. Or Betty, which was Frank Spencer. Or Betty. It's something to do with a house and a home. Frank Spencer, whatever he touched, he dropped it. So he'd go up into the rafters, and after 5 seconds, they would be showing you the next scene, and Frank would come crashing through the door, through the roof, right? So it's like, well, whatever this is going to come crashing down. Is that it's just going to come crashing? Wow, I'm channeling some strange messages. Something to do with the plane, right? I've got no idea. I really don't want to be freaking people out. They just said something to do with the plane. Now, I'm going to give these messages out, guys, because this might be something that might happen in the world, okay? Because they're saying something about a plane might come crashing down. Why on earth would my spirits get me to say that? Something's just going to come crashing down on someone. I really hope it's not that building. This feels like oh dear. What I really don't know what I want to say or can say on YouTube to people, right? But the tragic incident that happened in America, in New York, a long time ago, and I'm going really cold. Someone could have witnessed a lot of that kind of thing, or something like that, because there was a witness to something that happened in the past, or there was a witness to something. Because I can't get over that someone said it's all going to come crashing down. So what that message is really relating to later, I really couldn't tell you guys. So I am so sorry that however I come across. Because when a message comes through, I have to kind of like get it out. And it's like, well, will you just say it? Like, before it all comes crashing down, will you just say this thing? But you get such good news because you've got the sun. So I think a lot of those messages are being bombarded on me at the moment, and it feels like, well, just everything's being bombarded on me at the moment. I've got so many things lined up and so many decisions to make that it just feels like things are just bombarding me in my head at the moment, and I really can't think straight. So I need some time in order to be able to think, okay? And I think that that could be what someone's planning, because it feels like, well, we're just so enclosed in that 8 that we need some space, and I need some time to think clearly. Okay, but I'm really picking this up as that for some of you Leos, for some of you Leos out there, but we're doing Scorpio. For some of you people out there, whoever this is relating to, there was some kind of like ailment on the brain, okay, and it's been causing some kind of something to happen of either one, emotional triggers, which me and my soulmate are going to go over a load of different stuff soon, but also to do with like someone had a physical ailment, and if it was to do with radiotherapy, that someone is now recovered, like trying to recover from that, because it was affecting parts of the brain for somebody, okay, because it feels like physical radiotherapy. Okay. But I am so sorry about that it's all going to come crashing down, because I've got no idea where they come from, but I have to put those messages out, guys. But we are going to go on with the rest of your reading. It's over half an hour. Okay, if you do have any suggestions of me changing up the way I read, or any ideas that anybody can go to another channel to ask them for their support, to give me a shout out, I really would appreciate it. All I'm asking for that to happen is that where I can't reach out to other people, because YouTube have to really do that work to put me out there so people find it. And I'm not getting the views, and I don't know, and I can't figure out why. A lot of my readings, they struggle to reach 300 to 400 views. Okay, now I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, or if the way I'm reading, or anything like that. I really don't know. So what I'm asking for is that if anybody knows of a channel that would do out some kind of like shout out or something, okay, that can support me, I really would appreciate it. I would show my appreciation. Okay, but in order for that, it's just really just to get some of those subscribers, just to see what they reckon to my readings and if they relate to those. It's just a purpose. When you do these kind of stuff, it's good to have a purpose, okay? And I really enjoy doing them, but there needs to be more of an incentive, because I'm so doubting things at the moment. It's probably astrology, but you know, I'd love to read. And if anybody has any ideas of going to another channel and sending them an email or something like that, I really would appreciate that, okay? And whatever happens after that, you know, we can go from there. But I really would appreciate it. So any ideas, please leave them below. If you want to watch the rest of the reading, it's literally $5 now. If you want to go over to Patreon, we go over the rest of your reading and see what's going to happen through the first half of March. But the timeline can expand a little. Some of this stuff can be happening, but I really can't put that as a time. And you can find that in the Show More section. It's literally $5. You have access to all of your readings. Okay. If you would like a personal reading, you can also find it in the Show More section, along with any other multimedia site that I run or stuff like that. You can find everything in the link below. Okay. I really would appreciate your support. Thanks very much, Scorpio, and I will hopefully see you on the other side.